What's up, guys? Welcome to the first ever end of E3 2017 Kind of Funny Gamescast. I'm Tim Gettys, joined by one of the coolest dudes in video games, Greg Miller.
Bonjour!
And, once again, the Hispanic heartthrob, Andy Cortez.
I'm still here.
You are.
What's going on?
And Nick's here, too.
Hi.
Hey.
So, what we're going to do is we're going to start this by declaring
smells like cum.
our Kind of Funny Game of the Show, E3 2017. And it is, Greg?
We're doing it on the count of three, all at the same time. 1, 2, 3.
Spider-Man. It was Spider-Man. Cool
Spider-Man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Just got announced,
Fantastic.
Andy. It's not here
that's
yet.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Spider-Man from
You didn't see the leak
Insomniac.
on his Twitter. Yeah, Spider-Man from Insomniac. Marvel's Spider-Man is
Yeah.
calling on PlayStation
Okay.
4.
Okay.
It is our game of the year.
Game of V3.
Game of the show.
It's
Game
the end of
show.
E3. We're
It
very
is.
tired, but we're
yes.
drinking.
So game of the show is Spider-Man. There was other contenders, though.
I voted Mario.
Let's have that talk. Yeah. So going down the line, who voted for what?
I voted for Spider-Man.
I also voted for Spider-Man.
I voted for Mario, but here's what I want to say. Is that multiple times this E3, people came up to me and said, what is your game of the show? What's the best thing you saw? And I kept saying, I don't know. I don't have an answer. This is the first E3 in a long time where I didn't have a bam, this is my answer. Not because everything was meh, because so many games were so good.
Yeah.
I think I could have answered that question a million different ways. So I
There's two
voted
different
Mario.
ways.
I threw Mario. Well, I still think I would have made a case for the last day of June, but none of you played it. So in your face.
Yeah.
And then Nick.
I gotta go Spider-Man. Spider-Man looked good.
Yeah.
Spider-Man got me hyped.
Yeah.
I saw it in the press conference. I'm like, this is gonna look dope. What?
He's on it. Perfect.
Saw it in the press conference. It was like, this looks dope. Odyssey is kind of a given for me, right? I watch people play it. I haven't actually sat and played it myself. It's gonna be a phenomenal game. It looks
Sure.
great. Spider-Man just got the hype, man. It's got the hype.
It's got the hype too, but the one thing I'll say about Spider-Man, other than I hate the costume, I'm glad it changes at some
You
point.
don't like
in
the
game.
White Spider?
I don't like the White Spider at all.
No one likes White Spider.
What? What do you want to say? What
No,
case do you
it
want to make
doesn't
for the White
necessarily
Spider?
change at some point in the game.
He said the costumes. I mean,
But there's
there's
different costumes.
Brian and our behind closed doors danced around it. Where there's gonna be. He's like, we'll talk about other costumes later on. But he talked about the costume and upgrades and stuff like that. And he's like, I'm not ready to talk about that. Meaning that yes, you'll be able. I think the costume's gonna be modular in some respect,
think
and
at
everyone's
some point-
Spider-Man will look somewhat different.
Do you think that
I
at
think
some point
somewhat different. I think the
somewhat
big
different.
white spider is going to be there no matter what.
And I'm fine with that when I can make the suit look a little bit better. Because when it's got
that's
the
the-
red on and the white and the blue, that's too much. But if I can go all blue,
You're not
put some
American?
black on there, you know what I'm saying?
America.
Some hot pink.
Some hot, no, not the hot pink.
What do you
So
all white?
this is why I went for Spider-Man instead of Mario Odyssey. So I was doing an Instagram live stream on our Instagram, the Kind of Funny Vids
Kind of
Instagram,
Funny Vids, the one that
and
we're
then
using
Tim
more than
called
ever?
me, and I was like, "Fuck, I can't end the video because it's being covered by the answer or rejection."
Sure.
So I rejected, ended the stream, called you back, and you're like, "What's your game of the show?" He was like, "It's between Spider-Man and Mario," and I said, "The only reason I said Spider-Man is because
Paid off.
I feel like Mario is more of a game that impresses you. It impresses you more if you play it. Like yeah, it's pretty and it looks great or whatever, and their graphics are they're cute and shit like that.
Yeah.
But it's nothing that you watch that kind of blows my mind visually. Whereas Spider-Man, that trailer blew my mind.
Did
So
you see Mario put on the pin suit? The
I
pinstripe
did,
suit?
yeah,
Come
I
on.
did.
He had a
But I
hat
feel like
too.
it's a game that you have to control in order to really, really enjoy. And you have to fuck around and jump around as Mario and be on, do the fucking Mario thing. You know what
Do
I'm
the
saying?
Mario
So,
thing.
So
for
let
me,
me-
it was between Spider-Man and Detroit for me.
Ooh,
Yeah.
hold on. That's a great contender too. That is on my list
Yeah.
too because I played Detroit and liked the demo. But we'll get to that in a second. Let me be a hater in the comments then.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, you got to play Mario because it's got gameplay, not just quick time events. I don't agree with that. I
To
agree.
be fair, we don't know if Mario has quick time.
Shut up.
That's a
No.
good point. That's
That
a
was,
great
I think,
point.
one of the things that was frustrating for me to see, especially after the behind closed doors, was the fact of people saying that about Spider-Man when we were back there and they were going out of their way to get hit to show we are playing this. This is a suggested prompt down here. This is something else
Yeah,
here.
I mean, I said this on yesterday's Gamescast recap and the Spider-Man thing that we did for the reacts for the conference, but I don't like that in the bottom of the screen it's a constant prompt of buttons because
Yeah.
it makes it seem like even the combat is QuickTime.
Sure.
I hope that they get rid of that. or
They're
that
going
you
to
can
definitely
turn
change it.
off.
I mean, that was I mean, if I was going to ding Spider-Man, one of the first things I'd bring up was the HUD. But we all have done this long enough that we know that's temporary. That won't be what it ships with. That's not how it looks.
Yeah.
It's just what they're at now. I thought it was ugly, but I think they'll fix that and change it. And not to mention it'll be different when we know about it. It was
And also talking to Brian too, he was like today he was saying that like they wanted to make sure they had a HUD in this for
Yeah.
the E3 demo to make sure that people believed it was real.
yeah, and it's one of those things I'm sure it'll be like Zelda where you can turn it off.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Arkham where you can turn it off.
Well, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I hope there's just certain parts you can turn off
Sure. Yeah. Well, yeah.
because that tutorial hint thing is like that needs to go.
Yeah, of course. Detroit, though, an excellent. I hadn't played Detroit yet until this event in between things, and it was last year's demo I played, the hostage negotiation. But Man, did that remind me why I love Quantic Dream.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's essentially, I think a couple of fans had asked, like, what's your game of the show or whatever. And I hadn't seen Detroit yet, but I know that I love Quantic Dream. I didn't dig Beyond Two Souls, right? Like, I put in a couple hours, right? But Heavy Rain is one of my favorite games ever.
Yeah.
And David Cage making a fucking futuristic Android-based game that's like pretty much Heavy Rain. It's like, I'm so down. Like,
So you went behind closed doors with it today, right?
I did, yeah.
Yeah,
I
know
didn't
you've
get
seen it.
didn't get to
We
play
both
it
did, yeah.
because there was just too many fucking people there. Like I had to wait in line forever, and then I had to go see another game that we'll probably talk about later, The Last Night. And so I didn't get to play it, but Tim and I saw the same presentation. I guess the guy who was presenting it did some different things in it,
Yeah.
which is pretty interesting. And Detroit is just so fucking stunning. I can't believe how good that game looks.
Yeah, we did a whole reacts on Detroit, so you can watch that for more detailed information. But my thing was, Detroit was in the running for my game of the show. Like, it's definitely in the top 10 or like top 5 even. But there was a lot of things I had issue with the demo that we got into in the reacts. Like a lot of the dialogue towards the end, towards the more story-based stuff, felt
Origami?
really
Cheesy.
B-movie. And like, I expect more from this because it's such a cinematic experience that it's like, I don't want it to be a bad movie.
Sure.
You know?
And
Interesting.
here's what it kind of reminded me of. I immediately had the flashbacks of like, oh, these are big stars, right, as the main characters. But for some reason, I couldn't help but think of the Swedish actors trying to play Americans in Heavy Rain.
Origami Killer?
And where you could totally tell that they're hiding an accent. You know, it kind of there was some cheesy writing here and there, but good lord, like I cannot wait to play that game, man.
It's so impressive to me that the video games don't just look like that, but can from top to bottom be an experience that is that polished and cool looking. Yeah. Like I was talking about in the reacts where all the HUD elements, like all the text and all the button prompts that come up, they hide it in cool ways where it's very typography driven, where it's interesting to look at and it's cool to see because everything's so different. Where it's not just dialogue choices, but it's also action choices and like different prompts for controllers and stuff. And
Playing the hostage negotiation thing where it's like go through and your probability of success and all this different stuff, that would all be, I think, not immersion breaking, right? If it was like you're probably the success in the conversation, except for the fact that I am an android, right? And so that's why it made sense that I gathered stuff to see the bar fill in and then go away as I fucked up the conversation, do different things. Like that was really, really cool.
Oh, here we go.
What's going on? What is going on? Don't think about if you haven't go to youtube.com/kindafunny if you don't understand why we're in a sex dungeon and why that mask should not be put towards your eyes.
I guess that's a
that
good
needs
point.
some explaining.
Yeah,
it does.
No,
yeah.
Detroit though, it looks phenomenal, and I don't have any idea of when it's coming. From talking to the guy, he said it's about to hit alpha.
That's what I was saying. I mean, in my head, that's what I was saying in my head. I should say is the fact that it's okay to pass Detroit for Game of the Show this time because next year we could probably give it to Game. It'll be back again.
It will be back.
A lot of these games might be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
waiting for the people to go through the demos. I saw I think at least 4 different endings for the hostage negotiation scene, and it was just so cool. And some people were like, they took the headphones off, like looked back at the dude working there who's kind of just working the area, and they're like, "Fuck, man! Like I fucked up." Like, yeah, you did, man. You fucked up.
No, that's super awesome. So Andy, what else did you get to play today?
I played Far Cry 5 today.
What
Really,
do you think?
I really dug it. I still think that the vibe isn't as dark and horrific as it kind of could be, and that kind of bums me out. Essentially, the demo that you did today, you were in Hope County, right? Which is the fake
Montana,
the fake county that they created in Montana. And there's the mission we played. You had to liberate a little city called Falls End, and Falls End is an area that was taken over. It's the same fucking E3 thing. The same demo that you saw on the E3 stage.
Right.
During
With the
show.
bus, you come through. They have the guy in the street.
Right. I mean, there's different ways to tackle everything, but you can pick from your different companions, right? And it's totally Metal Gear Solid 5. So there's a dog who's pretty much D-Dog, and I didn't pick him. I picked the woman who's a sniper, and she's pretty much quiet.
Yeah.
But she has clothes.
Oh.
So not like quiet.
What,
Wow.
Kevin? It doesn't make narrative sense here. Of course, it made
Yeah.
sense in Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Quiet. She breathed through her skin.
Of course.
They're in
Duh.
the desert most of the time, too.
Yeah.
Also true. Also true.
And then there's a dude who is essentially like an airstrike guy. He flies an airplane and he will drop bombs and shit like that. So D-Dog will, I'm just gonna call him D-Dog. D-Dog will hunt and look for different people in the compound and will mark them for you so that they're on your HUD. Your sniper, you can tell her to go to different spots just like Quiet, and she will cover you if you do open fire. You can mark a target and say, like, hey, fucking kill this dude. And the pilot I didn't fuck with. But I did the same thing. I just shot a bunch of people. I told her to kill people. That was a really, really cool moment of I forgot that I had her as my companion, and I had already gone through a few different, little showdowns or whatever with a couple of these, whatever they are, these religious cult that's kind of taking over
fanatics,
the city. Yeah. And there was one guy left, and I was like, oh, I want her to kill him. Like, I'm going to make her kill him. So I saw him, and I was like, wait, where the fuck is my sniper? Bam! And he fucking gets shot, like, as soon as I said that. And so the little demo you're in the Ubisoft demo you're talking on the headset with the people working the booth there or whatever.
Which I'm not a fan of.
Really?
Yeah.
So
way too much stuff happening.
Yeah. It's like I've played Assassin's Creed. Just stop talking. Okay.
Oh, here's why I don't like it. Here's why I didn't like it. I started off just talking by myself with the guy, and then another dude joined in like halfway through my demo, and I was having to hear him talk to him, which is really weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a cool moment. Like, hey, where's my sniper? And then the dude gets shot, and it was really, really cool. And then I flew an airplane, and
in real life.
Yeah.
Ran out of the airport.
The controls were standard controls, like non-inverted, so it was really weird. So I had to switch it up. But yeah,
you're one of them too.
No. I'm a standard FPS. Like,
but flight.
Stop fucking saying one of them.
In flight,
Okay.
I need actual flight controls.
Because it makes sense then.
When
you're
you're in an
controlling
airplane.
a plane,
When you're in an
not
airplane.
a
Why
does it
head,
make sense
not
in
a
a plane?
human
Not in
head,
an airplane,
make
yeah.
sense?
not
Plane.
somebody who's broken in the
They
brain.
can't put a gear in the plane where you push down, you go down, you pull up, you go up.
No,
Let's
they
get
can't.
back
They've
to-
tried it
let's
many
get back to
times.
it.
That's
Andy,
how it
Before we
works.
get there, cool, Greg, come here for a second. Come here. I understand you've only worked here a little bit, all right? Here's what you... Come here. When I finish a beer, do you think I want another one? Yeah. God fucking damn it, Cool Greg. It's been a long week.
I'll take
Cool
another
Greg,
one
if
too,
you haven't
Cool
figured
Greg.
it out,
But I'm gonna
other
say
Greg's an
please
alcoholic.
and thank you.
So the gunplay was fun.
Yeah. So what do you think of Far Cry 5? I'm confused if you enjoyed it or not. It was fun. It was this.
I did
but then
enjoy
you were
it.
like, oh, they're knocking off Metal Gear. Thank you.
No.
Your brother wants one.
I did enjoy it. I mean, there's.
Also, I love you. You know that. Please and thank you. Please and thank you.
I enjoyed it. There's cool mechanics, and I like what they're going for. I just don't think the vibe is dark and weird enough. Like it's still like.
That's not Far Cry. And don't get me wrong. I'm
Yeah,
with you. This
I
is the
know.
big struggle they're gonna have.
But I thought
It's
this was gonna be the one, like
no
to
way.
to
They're
make
not
it really
gonna change
serious. So, anyway, what is kind of cool is that like once you free that town, everybody who was driven out of that town by these fanatics slowly start coming back in, and they're
Fucking
like,
cowards.
"Hey, we're taking our city back, right?" Yeah. And so like a woman who got kicked out of the restaurant that she owns comes back, and so like it's cool to see like these. So they become sort of like settlement areas that you can go and like chill with, and they're just like
cool.
NPCs.
You're
there.
clearing the map.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so they come back, and then the woman who owns the bar who comes back has a mission for you. So you
Nice, okay.
you go see so and so. Let's call him Sean Davis.
Okay.
Just made that up.
Any
right
relation
now.
to Sammy Davis Jr.?
Yeah,
Okay.
brothers.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Wow. So
brothers.
he's really old.
Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
yeah. I mean, he's yeah. And so then you get into an airplane. You do the air flight area. You know, it was fun. It was cool. Again, don't like the vibe a whole lot, but it's fun shooting and yeah.
Okay.
Nick,
Yes, sir.
I want to get you involved.
Oh, please, thank you.
What did you play
Today I played Crackdown 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was fun. And I also played The Crew 2.
Okay.
Which I
Anything else?
I played Verzoom, which
Let's
was
start
the,
with. Let's start there.
Let's start
What
there.
what was Verzoom? Nick?
That is
You're the most athletic among us. You always talk about
I'll
it.
be
You're always
honest right
walking
now.
around shirtless.
I got to this booth. I saw it. I knew when I saw the booth name instead of the actual like it's the Xbox booth or whatever. I was like, all right, Greg's messing with me. But I got there, had a great time. This is an exercise
what
game.
it is, yeah.
Where basically
Exercise game.
you can buy the bike, or they can ship you a little thing that straps onto your pedals if you have a bike at home, and you can. It's VR. It works with PlayStation, PlayStation VR, Oculus, pretty much all of VRs. And it's a simulator for working out. So you're on your bike, you can go. Your head moves the bike. It's super fun. Pull the trigger. You got a little bell. Fantastic. I burned about 17 calories while I was
Rad.
doing it.
Hell
It was
yeah, dude.
fantastic.
Okay.
They have other
Hey,
simulators and stuff like
Progress.
that.
You got to start somewhere, Nick.
You do. You really
Was
do.
that
Look,
your
here's
game
the
of the
thing.
show, though?
That's not my game of the show. No, close
asked
though.
him
There
what
is
he
a
played.
let's
You
play.
asked him what he played.
There is a let's play going up soon of that.
I think it's
It's more
Oh,
of
it's already
a.
up. You can watch it.
It's more of a me playing while I'm talking, which is great. Yeah, it's more of a live reacts. We might want to retitle that. And then I also, like Andy, went and saw the. It was more of a tech demo for the last night.
Okay, so there's a lot I want to dissect here. Let's
Sure.
start with Crackdown, though.
Crackdown 3. Have you guys all played Crackdown before?
I
Yes.
have not.
Oh my god.
I think I've played Crackdown. I think Andy and I established this. I must have played Crackdown 1 for maybe like 15 minutes. And you get, if you've played Crackdown 1 for 15 minutes, you understand what Crackdown is, right? Like this is.
That's it.
100%. Let's get some more. Let's get more powerful.
It's super fast upgrading. Like you don't do much, but you're just going around, jumping in the air, shooting a ton of shit. It's a blast, in my opinion. I had a fun time.
Yeah, no, Crackdown's fun.
It's definitely not. They're not going for a high level of depth with a lot of the gameplay and things like that. It's more just about just the sheer fun of like going around and blasting things and throwing things at people. But I really like the mechanic. I think it's going to be fun. I think we should definitely do. Andy and I are going to do the whole game co-op
Yeah.
for sure.
Really?
For
That's
sure.
awesome.
Full
Yeah.
playthrough.
Whoa.
So here's the one thing that I recently heard, because I know Greg and we were talking about Crackdown 3 and the destructible environments that were not put into the game, but I heard that is reserved for multiplayer.
That's multiplayer because they can use the cloud. That's the whole thing.
Okay, so is it so are we talking co-op story multiplayer or just
Ooh, great question.
what do they mean by multiplayer?
I haven't followed it
exactly?
long enough, but I think
Okay.
it's competitive. That's what I
Okay.
took away from what I read, but it was real brief when I
I
read.
think they mentioned something about that too. I apologize.
Which
but-
kind of sucks. Like I mean, it seems like it should be the other way around.
Sure, yeah,
It
you
seems
think
like
single
single
player would
player
be,
is
but
a-
I guess
is it-
this
it's
is
easier to contain,
Crackdown's
you
a
know?
great example, another great example of a tale of two Xboxes. That is a game caught between what Xbox One was supposed to be and what Xbox One is. And so, yeah, they dial back all that stuff. Oh, you know what I mean? We don't want you to be always online. We thought that was going to be a great idea. We thought everybody would be down with that. You were not.
Yeah.
So, no, we have to change this game drastically.
No.
Yeah.
So that was Crackdown.
That was Crackdown. So,
So
very
then
fun.
The Crew. You
Two.
both played.
We
The
both
Crew
played.
too.
Both played. And Greg, what was your opinion of it?
I was really disappointed in it.
Really? Why so?
I don't. So it's a weird thing, right? Because Crew 1 gets announced, and I looked at it and I was like, that seems like a fun game. I would actually like to drive across the country and do stupid stuff.
Yeah.
And blah, blah, blah. We did Let's Plays back when we were still at IGN with it. I was like, this is a fun game. It came out at a bad time. I was always just loaded with other games that meant more to me. And I remember it not reviewing well, and I think I did it for a little bit, and I just never gave it a real shot.
Sure.
But then when they announced Crew 2...
It reviewed well. Not
Not
amazing.
to-
It wasn't like 9 or 10s where you're like, oh shit, I need to get on
And you
this.
figure they did the wrong thing with that game where it did come out and compete. It came out as a fall release, and it's like, we're going to go toe-to-toe with all these other games. It's like, well, no, I'm going to get lost and sidetracked and not do it. So when Crew 2 got announced, and I'm talking about, like, we heard, obviously, it's all on the record now. We knew Crew 2 was coming. Like, that was something we were told when I was booking appointments before it's official announced. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Here's the game that'll somehow push that forward and do different things with it in terms of driving across the country or the world or whatever. And so then when we're watching the trailer and it's like, you're going to be the king of all motorsports. I was like,
it did different things, man. You told me that a
Motorsports.
fucking boat and an airplane
Yeah.
aren't different things.
they
Here's the
are. That's
fun-
why I tried to dial that sentence back, and I hope you didn't catch
I'm telling
it.
you right now.
'Cause I dialed it, but don't give me the sarcastic. Oh, he's still doing it. He's still doing that fucking
doing
petty
it. Are
Are you talking about me? I
sarcastic
think you're
trick.
talking about him.
No, I'm
no.
laughing. No, because
I
I
was
know
just
what
drinking.
I know what Nick's about to say right now.
Go, Nick. Go.
I this was the game that I only played a handful of games of the C3 because I didn't do
This is
much.
my
But
favorite story.
I had a blast playing this game. Like I walked out and I was smiling and everyone's like, how was the game? I'm like, that was really fun. Like they have a there's a mechanic in the game where at any given point, like if you hold down the right stick,
Yeah.
you can switch between air, land, and sea, which is hilarious.
Like a flying squirrel.
What's that? Exactly like a flying
Well, I
squirrel.
mean, you more.
But like if you're in a plane and you just go boom and you drop into a car and you just start going. So that was a lot
Wait,
of fun.
really?
yes,
It's fucking awesome.
it's
Hold
a,
on. Like a transformer?
No, just
No,
literally
no.
it goes
It just
brrrr, and then you're
totally changes.
Then all of a sudden you're in a car,
Oh.
and if you're 20 feet above the air, you just
And this
kinda
and
drop
like
onto
this
the
is what
street and go.
you mentioned cheesy dialogue before, right? The idea here, I guess, is that motorsports is taking over the world, and that there's this announcer, and you're competing in it when you do all these different things to earn XP and fame or
Yeah.
whatever. So like literally, I'm driving the car, and this is like the intro mission. I'm driving the car, and the guy goes, "Now it's time to get extreme," and it does the Inception shit. I'm like, this is actually in the game. I thought this was a trailer. He's like, no, it's in the game. I'll smile. I'm like, oh no, and I turn into a fucking boat or whatever. I'm like, oh
That's
god.
him. Hearing that pitch, does this not sound like the best game ever made?
I mean, you're making some solid points.
And then
there.
I drive my Audi TTRS up to this like woodland area, and then all of a sudden it morphs into like a buggy, like off-road car. And I'm like, this is fucking super fun. Like, granted, look, if you're not into racers, this is not going to be the game for you.
And this is the big thing about it. For what I'm saying is, it just it's funny you left and you're grinning. I left. PR was like, "What'd you think?" I'm like, "Oh, it's a fine game. It's good." And, and she's like, "Oh, I'm glad you like it." I'm like, "No, I don't like it." I'm like, to be very clear, I don't like it.
Classic
but
Greg.
I'm not the audience. Well, I'm not gonna lie and then put up a video where I'm
Sure,
like, this is
sure,
but
sure.
I agree. I'm not. I thought the Crew 1 was gonna be cool, and I never got into the Crew 1. So I'm not the racing guy.
Right.
So if it is, you want to fly the plane, you want to do all this stuff, fine. But it's just like, what the fuck is
Nick,
going on?
Can you tell us what happened when?
Oh my god, yeah. I hate myself so much. No, I'm not going to tell you what happened.
Why don't you tell me what happened?
I'll tell you what happened. So I get in there, and I had not played the Crew 1. I didn't know what the Crew was, really. Like, I knew it had cars. But I thought it was more of a GTA game. So I was like, I walked in there, and I was like, because I thought you were supposed to be able to walk around. Which, by the way, you can. I totally forgot about that.
And which, by the way, I just crossed my fingers because I want to come back to that.
Yeah, so I was like, can I invert my Y-axis? And the guy's like, no.
And he was
Because I thought I remembered you'd be able to walk around. It turns out you can walk around. There's a first-person mode when you go select a car, but it's not a part of the gameplay. It's more of just like walking around while you're at the pre-race part.
And then, okay, sorry.
The
go
guy,
ahead.
But the way you framed it, I'm like, hey, can I invert my Y? And the guy was like, no, why? And you're like, I'm just kidding. Like, let's
yeah,
play
I
it.
was like, great, good job, let's go.
Cool Greg says knocking on the door. I think it's the pizza. Can you go get that? Thank you very much.
And it was then that you realized that this is primarily a racing game.
Yes, that was that. That was at
Okay,
that point
so
for
but
me.
to dial back to that point, that was another thing where I had my problem with the Crew, right? Of like, okay, it's not a racing game, whatever. It was the thing of like, all right, let's go to LA and let's go into the story mission there where you're going to be a street racer or whatever, and it's about these guys want to go legitimate and these guys want to keep it off the books.
Right.
And you get this video, and immediately the guy who's talking to you, there's no lip sync to it. All the character models look garbagey, and then you're in first person mode, but you're in first person mode in like WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 or whatever. We walk around, you're just a ghost, and I was like ghosting through objects, other characters. I'm like,
But I mean, it was
this
like
is such a weird thing.
pre-alpha build too that we're looking at.
Okay, but I mean, like models like that. I mean, maybe I'm again. To be 1,000% clear, if any of that sounds interesting, you saw the trailer, like, I love motorsports. More fucking power to you. I'm just saying, as somebody who was like,
You tell me there's a future where this is everything?
you're gonna fucking morph all over the place.
More. No, I mean, look, I just had a good time. I had a good time with it.
We got some pizzas here. We're very excited because I'm very hungry.
But to be fair, I didn't think I was going to get to play the Crew because they had a slight problem with one of the pods, and so I had to wait for a second. And then Alex was like, "Do you want to play? What is it, Skull and Bones?"
Yeah.
That's called. And I was like, "Sure, I'll play."
Did you play Skull and Bones?
I played Skull and Bones, and Skull and Bones was fun, but it was made even more fun by the fact that Nate Ahern was on my squad.
Oh, God.
And we kept saying "squad up." We were like, "Squad up."
But was the game good?
It was fun. I mean, the thing is, it's again, if you don't like racing games,
Yeah.
and maybe
Wait for Skull and Bones?
I'm just trying to tie into the Crew, but it's a loose tie-in. Follow me on this one. You're like, if you don't like racing games, you're not gonna like the Crew. If you don't like sailing pirate ships, you're probably not gonna like Skull and Bones. I'm gonna put it out there right there.
Fair. That's a fair.
You know,
thing to
I'm just
say.
saying that's what this game is about. It's not. I went in and thinking it was Sea of Thieves, right, where you're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
You're not.
You are a boat, right?
You are a boat. You are your own boat captain. You.
Do you get out of the boat ever?
No.
Okay.
No, and when you go take another boat, it just kind of like is a quick time cutscene.
That was the funniest tweet I think I saw during the
Andy,
press
go
conference.
get yourself together and come back to this podcast.
During the UB press conference when it started, and I got so excited thinking it was just going to be a pirate game. Then we're going to take Black Flag's engine and you do another pirate game.
Right.
And then then somebody tweeted after I was crestfallen of like, oh, this is weird. Somebody tweeted, it's like, Ubisoft. What did you like? Or it was me, Colin. Man, I loved Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I'd love to do that again. Ubisoft. Great, here's a game where you're a boat. I know. That's close, but not exactly what I wanted.
I mean, the game's fun. It is fun, but
You're a boat.
You are a boat. You're a boat with a lookout on top that you can go to whenever you want.
Yarr.
Yeah, definitely not probably something I'm going to spend a whole lot of time with.
Sure.
but,
Not gonna
it's
double
a
back
fun multiplayer game.
Do you want to stick with Ubisoft while we're here?
Yeah, sure.
I played Assassin's Creed Origin while we were
How
over
was
there.
that?
It
It
is
looks really cool.
interesting.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Stick with me. Here's
Okay.
the thing: is I like Assassin's Creed. I'm excited to play this game. The two things that I left frustrated. Number one, because they've changed combat, which is a good thing, because Assassin's Creed combat was super stale, right? Did anybody play Assassin's Creed?
I just remember the first one.
Remember how it was always like hold triangle to parry. So you'd constantly be like this, and then the guy would come and you'd automatically parry, and then you'd have to do your thing.
Didn't they eventually upgrade it to be more like Arkham? Wasn't it more like a little quicker than that eventually?
I can't speak to that.
Okay.
I did play Syndicate. I just don't remember that.
The last one I played was Black Flag.
Okay.
So I don't know how.
Were you
maybe
a
I
boat
still.
in that, or?
We're a boat.
You commanded a boat because that's cool to be. Anyways, this one it's all, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it has been switched out and I just don't remember it. It's a quicker combat. They made a point of talking to me about it being quicker.
Okay.
Of the fact that like, well, first off, it's weird that like you have to lock onto somebody and then you're in shield mode, at least for the weapon set I had, and then you don't have to worry about actually holding something to block. It's just gonna block for you unless it's in power attack or whatever.
And then you do a flurry rush.
No, none of that.
Slow motion.
Nope. You're thinking of another game. And so you can go around, but then R1 is light attack, R2 is strong attack. That was new to me, if anybody wants to try to correct me on that. Anyways, it was getting... Sorry? New to you as well, Kevin?
It sounds new.
Thank you very much. And again, they made... So anyways, it was like this thing of like, okay, this all makes sense and I'm down, but it was like... Then immediately got thrown into the deep end of one of the demo, right? To go take the ship down and get this thing to go back to beat the shit out of this priest. That was cool. Anyways, getting the hang of it was okay, and then all of a sudden it was 3 guys on me, and I was like, ah, fuck.
3 guys on you.
Yeah, hate
You're
that.
in this sex dungeon.
Yeah, hate when that boy orgy happened.
Yeah.
But then the second part of the demo was just a gladiator fight, and then again it was like 4 dudes. I'm like, all right, well, I don't know this combat well enough to feel confident. Old Assassin's Creed I would have jumped in and been fine with, at least last Assassin's Creed I played. Anyways, I'm getting beside the point. Beautiful game from a wide level. I'm playing on an Xbox One X. This is one of the games I called out during that press conference of, this doesn't look that good for what they're saying, right? It's the same thing here, and this is probably for PlayStation 4 Pro too. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying that I'm playing on what I assume is a 4K monitor because of course they're showing this shit off.
Yeah.
No, they were. All the shit that they had was
top of the line
4K,
bullshit.
HDR,
and you
the
get
right
in there, and it's
HDRs.
the thing of like, for me personally, now that these things are rendering and making it look so high definition, so whatever, it's calling out the flaws more.
Sure.
Where it's like I'm talking to the guy, and clearly his hood with the holes in it is like plastered. You know what I mean? And his eyes are there, but his skin texture feels low res because it looks so high def, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm like, and don't get me wrong, when we're in a wide shot, when I'm fighting people, and I'm like, this game looks fine. But then when we go into talking or doing something, I'm like, well, now this just feels like it's making it look worse somehow.
Yeah, I mean, it could be.
It's
A
what
lot more
HD did to a
definition
lot of people.
Yeah,
to a lot
it's
of
true.
on-camera people.
Yeah. But getting away from all of that, I love Assassin's Creed. I've said that before. This seems like one I'm into. The environments look awesome. Riding the horse was cool. Going into town and suddenly all the question marks pop up. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah.
The horse like maneuvering felt fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's weird for me to say
Bow
this,
and arrow
too.
felt good.
But it looks like it's like, I know it's an Assassin's Creed game, but you look at it and the actual style of it and the fact that it's set in Egypt makes it look completely different to me for some reason, which is weird. Like every other Assassin's Creed game I've seen, I'm like, okay, it's kind of a variation of the same theme. This actually looks cool and kind of unique to me.
Really? I mean, to me, just looking at
Same
it,
thing.
I'm just like, nah. Like,
Maybe it's because I always just assume every Assassin's Creed was in like Florence for some reason.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of them were.
I know.
Yeah. I don't know. My thing is, Assassin's Creed has never grabbed me the right way, and it's because I was such
Can
a
you
big
grab
fan
him the right way?
of
Right now,
Print.
Greg?
Of Print. Oh my God!
Jesus.
Such a
You got
big,
handful
such a
there.
big fan of Prince
really
of Persia. So that when we made the jump, Assassin's Creed 1, I did not like at all. So then I didn't even really give 2 the chance that it deserved. So then once it got later, obviously, I
Makes sense.
backed
Big
out.
Big question,
But,
what do you think of the Jake Gyllenhaal Prince of Persia movie?
More
it
important,
was
yeah.
not great. It wasn't
importantly.
even
Okay.
good,
Okay,
but it
cool,
wasn't
sorry.
bad. It was somewhere in between.
You heard it here.
Not bad.
You heard it here
and not
first,
good.
folks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
It's a good review for a 10-year-old movie.
exactly. But no, seeing this Assassin's Creed, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of where you're at, but from a non-fan perspective,
Yeah.
where it's just like,
What's there to bring
yeah,
you
this
in?
doesn't.
I
I
totally get
was
that.
expecting not even a reimagining of Assassin's Creed, but like something that I looked at, I'm like,
This
oh,
looks drastically
I
different.
wanted something like what God of War's doing,
Sure.
where it's like
100%.
it's still the same thing, but it's a bit more matured as a franchise. You
As
know?
a fan, I understand when they were like, we're taking a year off. I hope that's what it would be. And coming here now, I'm like, it's not, but I'm still excited. It seems like, again, the combat is faster. That's different. That's cool. The environment looks huge. There's more shit for me to do. And all this seems fun. Like, for the 2 seconds I've met of the main character, I'm like, all right, yeah. He comes in. This priest is beating this kid over the head. He goes and proves the priest wrong. Priest talks some shit. Fucking murdered. Like, yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Talk shit, get shot.
We need to murder more priests.
Or get
I don't
sniped.
understand why
Whoa,
you're.
we need to
you're
murder
priest
more
murdering,
priests.
but that's
Greg
a-
Miller, 2017.
We don't need to
God.
murder. We just need less priests. So if we have to kill them
We
to
need
get rid
to
of them,
molest priests.
get less of them.
Oh.
Less priests.
Backwards.
Now it's in a
now.
weird spot.
All
Now it's in a
right.
weird
So,
spot.
speaking of Ubisoft, I got to play South Park: The Fractured Butthole.
Oh, you have to play it.
Kevin, the light.
Jesus.
What is
going
what
on?
the fuck? just going.
Who would've thought
Is there
this
some
porn
spooky ghost
studio?
here?
Not the best.
I just saw. Sorry for everyone at home. The light was just like slowly falling towards Kevin.
It's been a long E3, ladies and gentlemen.
Taking a
We've
nap.
been here.
Back up. And there is no real lights in this place. It's all
Weird. We are
Kanye
again,
West LEDs.
kindoffunny.com. Go see the porn studio.
All right. South
thing.
Park: The Fractured Butthole. It's so awesome. This is my first time playing it.
Yeah.
Seen it at a million events. I hosted a panel at PAX one time. Like, obviously, big fan of this game. Got one of our Game of the Show things last year for E3. Got one this year as well. And now playing
one of our nominations.
Yeah,
Or
our
whatever.
approved. Kind of funny
Approved.
approved. Our Game of the Show was Spider-Man, but we gave out 9. Kind of funny
did get
approved
9,
awards.
yeah,
But
yeah.
we should at the end of this we'll get to all of those. But South Park, playing it is so awesome. I love the grid system. I love the combat, and obviously it's all about the writing. It's all about the characters and the story, and it's funny as fuck. And it's like you go into it and you know what South Park is, so you kind of understand the humor you're getting into. The demo started where you're in a strip club with
Cartman.
Diabetes. Is it Diabetes Boy? Something like that?
One of the hero names.
Yeah.
No. Oh God. He's over there. Scott Malkinson.
Yeah.
Diabetes.
Yeah, exactly. But his
Yeah.
superhero name is like Diabetes. I think it's just Diabetes.
Oh, okay. They always make fun
Diabetes
of
Boy. Anyways, that's a superhero name. So he's kind of leading you around because you're the new kid.
Gotcha.
You get in, and you're trying to find. I honestly, I'm not really sure exactly what was happening.
Sure.
Like, you're trying to find a woman for some reason, and she is one of the strippers. And
Story of Nick Scarpino's life.
yeah, and you go in and you're talking all the strippers and it's going through, and it's just like constantly. I was talking to the writer of the game, Jolie, fantastic person.
We know her well. Personal friend of mine.
She was like guiding me through it, and as I'm going, like I was like, my God, multiple times, because like things are happening. I'm like, I can't believe you're showing this. Like just like tits, like not boobs, not nipple, like it was just tits. You know, like it was just like that.
Is that a third nipple?
Like it was.
That's a mole that I have to get checked.
You have been cancerous in the past.
When I was growing up, the kids called me Mole. You want to laugh about that?
Did they call you Mole Man?
No, they just called me Mole.
Here
He wasn't a
comes
very.
the Mole Man.
All right, Greg.
So there's a
Walking
stripper
around
that
with
they
his mom
call
again.
Classy. Classy was the name of the stripper that they
Okay.
were looking for. There was a lot of other strippers as well. They were not the strippers that you were looking for. But as you're going through gameplay, fucking awesome. Multiple mini games, including one where the guy, like two dudes, get so drunk.
Oh, that was a Star Wars reference, right?
No, it wasn't. But I mean,
Oh, I thought you were doing.
no.
Okay, sorry.
Two
Train of
dudes.
thought, Andy. Thanks for that.
Two dudes looking for love in the strip club. They find these two young boys, and they think that they're young girls. And they take them in the back room, and one of them, all of a sudden, like, there's a rap air horn that happens, and it's fucking lap dance mini game time. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And you're one of the main characters, and it turns into a mini game where you're given a lap dance, and you have to, like, to the music, turn the analog sticks and stuff,
Yeah.
and he's just like twerking up on the guy, and it was fucking disturbing as all shit, and it was funny as
Sounds
fuck.
disturbing.
Big fan of it. I totally killed it. I did such a good job on that
course you
mini
did.
game. You're also farting on him a lot. There's a lot of farting in this game. Mm-hmm. You're farting doing your lap dance. And then after that happens, you realize that Classy is, in fact, the stripper you're looking for. You find her. And she's like, oh, shit, you're the cops. So she, like, tries running. She runs in the back, like the locker room of the strip club. I don't know what that's
where
called.
they
They
do
call
all
it a dressing room.
The dressing room.
Oh, okay.
Been
Sorry,
there once
too
or
much,
twice,
too much
Andy.
wrestling. You go in there and there's like hella strippers in there, and then it's the stripper gauntlet begins.
Okay.
I need you to fight all the strippers,
Nice.
Naturally.
and just one by one you're going through, and then eventually there was one. I think her name was Big Bertha. She came out, and she's chasing you down, and she was a very, very large woman. And she would jump and like just ground pound, and it was a one-hit kill if she gets you.
Wow.
So you need to stay in front of her, but all the other strippers are trying to push you back into her. So that kind of became the big set-piece moment of the game. That's where we got a lot of the
how
combat.
was the combat there?
That's where we got a lot of the combat, where it was like it's still the grid system,
Okay.
but you're trying to progress forward. So the combat's really interesting, where it's a grid, and the grid changes based on where you are, if you're inside or outside, and all that, and how many people on your team, and how many people you're facing. There was one battle I was in was you, 2 people versus 2 people, and whatever. But with the stripper gauntlet, it's you versus like 11 people. So there's a lot going on, and they're trying to push you back. So there's a lot of moves where they'll hit you and it'll knock you back a space, or it'll just move you to different spaces. So it's a lot of spatial awareness because you can't occupy the same space someone else does. You can go through them. You can attack through people. So there's a lot of strategy in this. I'm like, this is kind of deep and like it's interesting. And like even just playing it here, I was like, all right, this is fun, and I can totally see some really cool strategies come into play. And especially when it gets to the late game, like I think this is going to be a lot more gamified than Stick of Truth was.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And,
really?
and it was fun. And it was cool stuff. It wasn't like just like complicated for the sake of it. It was like, no,
Just more to do in the game.
more to do, and the characters felt different enough where it's like,
Okay.
all right, the classes really felt like they meant something.
Okay,
And
cool.
I immediately was like, all right, cool. I need to work together with their movesets to, complete the stripper gauntlet.
Sure.
Yeah. So it was a fun time. Very
That's awesome.
highly recommended. Cannot wait for it.
Okay. Is that all the Ubisoft games we saw? That covers it?
Yeah, I think so.
I also
No, you
played.
saw.
Oh, you rabbited it.
I played Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
What are
Did
what
you
was
play
your
it with
guys'
Reggie?
take on this one?
I did not play it with
Okay, because he was walking in while you all were doing that shit. Like I was standing outside.
out in the
'cause
hallway. He was
I
out
had
in the
just
hallway.
finished my Far Cry thing, and here comes big old Big Reggie Daddy.
Yeah.
The Reg Man, they call him.
Yeah,
Reginator, sometimes if he's your enemy.
time to regulate. Warned you.
Regulator. Mount up.
All right. Yeah, I got to play.
Reggie had to regulate.
Play a bit of Mario and Rabbids. It's really cool. It is a dumbed down XCOM. There's not much that I need to say that you haven't already heard, but it is a dumbed down XCOM, but I think that's a good thing.
Right.
To introduce a lot of people, especially younger people, to that type of gameplay. Even in the early stages of what I was playing, there was a lot going on where there was, with the multiple characters being able to attack and to hide behind things, but then also the warp pipes really added an extra dimension to it, where you could do the whole XCOM thing where you, in your motion, go through someone and attack them.
Yeah.
And then what they showed in the Ubisoft press conference, where you can like use another one of your characters to jump off to give you an extra move. You can do that extra move, find a warp pipe, warp into it. So it's like one turn can have about 5 actions. And I'm like, all right, I can totally see where this is going to get extremely complicated eventually. And I'm like, that's awesome, because it eases you in with the cutesy shit and the rabbits. And then I'm sure eventually it's going to end up being XCOM levels of difficult. So that's cool. Don't think the rabbits need to be in this game. The world traversal stuff was just as boring to play as it was to look at in the press
that
conference.
sucks.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's stupid. There's like this fucking Roomba thing, and it just kind of goes around, and that's what you're controlling, and then the other people kind
They
of
just
follow
follow
you.
it,
Yeah, so it's kind of like Final Fantasy VIII, where you like have
Or
your
shitty
party.
Pikmin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, kind of like that.
Imagine if we got a good Pikmin game though on Switch.
It's never happened.
Imagine that.
All right.
No bullshit.
Oh,
Whoa.
fucking.
Fucking whoa.
I'm out.
Fucking whoa.
Please,
Okay.
it's like 15 more games we
Please
have to talk about.
leave.
What else
No,
do-
but
what other
the
games?
Mario and Rabbids, like everyone that was playing it was having such a good time, and there was so much buzz around it at E3 that I was like, man, this is crazy
Good for
to
them.
me.
I'm happy for them. I was
Me
worried
too.
about it.
Me too. But anyway, so that was the last Ubisoft game that we got to play.
So then let me take you on a little walk from the Ubisoft booth to the Bethesda booth. Hey, everybody, it's me, Greg Miller from Kinda Funny.
Hold on, real quick. Is this the last game that we're going to talk about?
No, we have a lot of games to talk
Okay.
about.
Because, like, I want to get the last night out of the way before we get to, like, a final cool game to talk about.
Okay.
Like, so if you're going to talk about...
We got a lot.
We have a lot.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Pack
Okay,
a lunch.
great.
We should probably just start eating pizza, but not on the camp.
No.
No? All right, fine. Whatever.
People hate that stuff.
You can eat pizza, Kevin. You can eat pizza. Thank you for suffering for your right.
plates and paper towels and stuff for the pizza.
Yeah.
Thank you, cool guy.
Isn't that right?
Is that a woman's
Mrs. Miller,
voice?
look at her eating a pizza over there. What a sexy woman. Married her. She's all mine. Went to the Bethesda booth, played Wolfenstein, the new Colossus. Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, to be 100% accurate. We already have a Reacts up about it. We've already talked about it at length, so I won't bore you. I did make sure it got
I'm so jealous.
one of the awards.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's so good that it makes me want to go back. I'm going to go back and finish the new order, which I'm going to start over and just go back through it. It's funny. The trailer, I didn't see any of the characters from the trailer. Not any, but I didn't see most of the trailer characters, which is what really hooked me of like, hey, we're this band of renegades and we all have different personalities. Let's do this. But the gameplay of this one of starting in the wheelchair and then being in the wheelchair for 20 minutes, getting a gun off people in a wheelchair, shooting people, it was like fucking awesome. And like just going through and the blood and the explosions, the comedy, it was really good. It's really good. I like where it's going. However, I went from there, if you don't mind, into the Bethesda booth, and then went into a land we call virtual reality.
Whoa.
And I played all of their virtual reality games, guys.
VR.
I did Fallout, which is coming October 2017, not to PSVR, but to other stuff. And they're aiming to get it on all platforms, so it'll eventually be there, maybe, kind of, who knows. So I played Fallout, I played Skyrim, I played the other one, Doom. That's it.
Doom.
And Fallout was my favorite. And I'm a Fallout fan, but it just felt good to be in that world, and it felt natural to move that way. And this is the one where, by default, I was controlling it, pushing myself forward with the other D-pad. I was playing on the HTV, the Vive controllers with the circles on top, using the D-pad to push forward, move around that way, aim like this. If you're an audio listener, sorry, aim with your right hand. If I wanted to look at my Pip-Boy, I pulled up the other controller, and it was my Pip-Boy. It was great.
Cool, that's cool.
Weapon wheel selection was on, my right controller. It was super easy. I had the nukes. I had everything else there. I got into the power suit. It was, at first, when I was just in a gas station, they start me, and a bunch of feral ghouls came at me, and a bunch of other things to get you used to the controls. I was like, whatever. And then I went off on what is one of the quests, where the first time, I think it's Preston, right, the sheriff you meet, who's up in the second level, and he shoots down, and then one of the death claws come out. I went over there, did that. I was like, what do I do? I was like, oh, and I was audibly saying this to the woman giving the demo. I'm like, oh, I've played this mission. I remember this mission. Blew away the death claw and all stuff. And it's the entire game of Fallout in VR.
Oh,
really?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that at all.
They were not clear about that early on, and I'm sure they've said it, and I'm sure most of our audience has probably caught it on something that I missed. But for us, we didn't know that either. And I was like, so is this Fallout 4 just in VR? She's like, yep, it's Fallout 4 in VR. And I was like, oh, that's the entire game? She's like, yeah. I'm like, that's really cool.
Wow, that's really awesome.
Yeah, okay, fine. That's really nice.
I thought it was just going to be a dumbed down.
Yeah, I
VR
thought it'd be an experience.
But did it work though?
Yeah.
Can you imagine playing that game?
I totally could. I don't think the experience I had was awesome enough where I'm like, if I had, I guess we do have a Vive. It doesn't matter. It wasn't awesome enough where I'm like, I'm going to do that when that comes out. You know what I mean? But if I hadn't played, or I was a huge Fallout fan, yeah, why not? It was cool to be in there, looking around, do that. VATS works in a different way. I forget the button. I think it's I don't even know the buttons all that well. It'd be the down button. Doesn't matter. You hit A button to go into VATS, and then you aim around. I wasn't seeing the chance of hitting and what damage it would do, but you could see way off in the distance. It would be I could see I'm gonna shoot him in the chest, the arm, or whatever, and I was like, that's cool. It's my favorite because I think I had the least expectation for it maybe, and it blew me away the most in terms of this is actually cool.
And visually it held up because when you're doing VR, you have to fucking render the
100%.
same thing twice.
Stick with me on that. Okay. That's gonna be an important point to come back to. But I'm playing on the Vive. Yeah, I thought this looks like Fallout. This is great. Sure. Then I went over to Doom. Played Doom. Doom, of course, as we saw in the Fallout. If I was gonna get sick, she's like, we can switch it to the teleport thing, but I stuck with it. I'm fine. I played a lot of PlayStation VR. No big deal. Doom has that jumping around mechanic already. You know what I mean, in terms of teleporting around to what you do. So it felt to me like a shooting gallery. Granted, I wasn't the big. I totally respect and liked Doom from what I played. I was never motivated to go back and really get into it, right? But it was cool to jump into that world, shoot stuff, whatever. But it felt like a Doom shooting gallery. Yeah. Beautiful. Fun, whatever. If you how you stun the guys and they go white or everything, you use a teleport mechanic to blast into them and turn into blood.
Do your finisher move or whatever. The glory kill.
And I was like, all right, cool, that's fine. And then it was like, all right, cool, let's play Skyrim. And I took it off and put on PlayStation VR. And I haven't done that in a while, where I go from a Vive to a PlayStation VR, let alone from a Vive to a PlayStation VR, running a game from 8 years ago or whatever. And it was like, whoa, fuck, well, shit, maybe. I'm always like, PlayStation VR is good enough. I'm like, damn, the Vive looked a lot better, but again, maybe it's just because.
Well, the Vive's on a high-powered PC.
Sure, but I think also it's because I think the juxtaposition was so
old game's old, dog.
Skyrim is old as shit,
old
right?
Game's old.
But Skyrim was laughable because I'm kind of a goon, but then laughable too just because it was old and whatever. But I put it on and jumped in, and sure, it was Skyrim, sure. And I walking around, I saw this thing, and I walked up the stairs, and dudes came out, and in the one hand is the sword, and the other hand is fire. And so the dude came out, and I just stabbed him, and I started swinging it, and I turned to her, I'm like, I'm like, what am I doing? And I burned the guy with the hand. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, what do I have to do to make the sword work? And she's like, no, it was working. I was like, oh, and the next guy came up, and I just went, all awkwardly stabbing through them. It's melee in VR in a game not designed for VR. I'm clearly not a fan of, because it was just me poking the character model and them not really reacting, some blood, and then collapsing.
Well, it's more like we waggle in the early days of just all right, if you move, then they will do an animation.
And it was the little thing of another guy came down the stairs and his feet were not on the stairs at all, and it's just All right, cool. I mean, this is what you want. You want Skyrim onto this thing. I guess this is how it's going to port over, but sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is that all the Bethesda you did?
That was all the Bethesda I did.
Okay. I did a whole bunch of platformers.
Oh, really?
My genre of choice,
Okay.
I would say. I played a bit of Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy.
Oh, good. I'm glad. You haven't played that enough. You haven't touched
Well,
it ever
all I
since
want to say is I finally played the only level that matters, which is the Orient
Credit screen.
Express.
Oh.
Not Grove.
No, it was well.
that
You,
a real
play,
level?
you do play. You do
gonna
play as
go.
Coco in it. It's the
wow.
Great Wall of China level
Nailed it.
where you're on the tiger, and it was fantastic. And again, game comes out in 3 weeks. I'm so stoked for it. I think they're doing such a great job of remaking the original 3 games and staying true to what they stand for. I played the 2 Sonic games, Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces, just for a little bit. No. So here's the thing: Sonic Mania got one of our kind of funny approved things.
Yeah, really good.
I am so stoked for that game. I'm so happy it's coming to the Switch. I love how much just it screams Sonic fan. Like, it screams that it is being made by people that actually care, and it is being made by the people that
It's
have
JJ
complained for years
it's J.J.
about what
Abrams
Sonic
making
should
Force
be.
Awakens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like they know what they want, and when they make it in the show, it's like the people like me that do like the older Sonic games. I'm like, all right, cool, they're nailing it. And then the people even like you that don't really necessarily like any of them,
I have a soft spot for 1 and 2. That's what I grew. I was a Genesis kid. Yeah.
but you can even look at it and be like, all right, cool, they are nailing all of the
I
right
put it in
things
my
about
top
this.
5 video from the pre-E3 stuff I did, where I played that and I was like, actually, this is a lot of fun. I could see myself playing this.
Playing through even the first act with the first zone with Green Hill Zone, it ending with the boss being the final boss from Sonic 2.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's so awesome, and it's such a love letter to classic Sonic, and I think that it is going to be the best Sonic game ever made.
Wow.
I really do. I think
That's
from
fucking
everything
cool.
I've played, because we've played through Green Hill Zone so many times, and Chemical Plant, and all these damn levels. Like,
Yeah.
at this point, how many times can we go back just for nostalgia's sake?
How many times can we, Nick?
I mean, as many times as it keeps making money.
Yeah.
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 But I don't know. This is really, really nailing it, and even like the Act 2s of them. So like Chemical Plant Zone Act 2, it's just so different, and it is in the spirit of the original, but it adds in such great ways. Very big fan of that. Sonic Forces, it kind of takes all the best gameplay from Sonic Generations, which was fun, and Sonic Colors as well, and even the good parts of Sonic Unleashed. So it's like they're definitely learning with all this. And it's fun. I like it. I love the boost gameplay, the roller coaster style thing where it's more a rhythm game than a platformer.
Can't hold a candle to Sonic and the Black Knight.
It can. It
That's
actually.
Sonic
it
and the Black
can.
Knight is probably the best platformer of all
Which
time.
one was where he
That is
became a
not
werewolf?
true. That was Unleashed.
Okay.
Which half that game fucking sucked, and half that game was like, oh shit, this introduced a great mechanic, which is the roller coaster style. This is what Sonic should be in 3D gameplay. And Forces is going back to that pretty much exclusively,
Gotcha.
besides the classic Sonic stuff,
Tim,
And-
which was all right.
I wanted to show you this picture I got.
But
Of
then
me and
Sonic Forces,
Sonic.
the big problem of Sonic.
It's me and Sonic right there. I don't know if you can see him in the background.
Oh, cool.
Fuck, I
It's
wish
just
there
Sonic.
was a way
I
that,
tried to get
For
Sonic-
our-
that
tried to
people
get-
could see this.
I'll hold
Kevin
it.
could put it in.
Kevin's
I
on
mean,
it.
put it
Kevin's
in
on it.
this
We're doing it right now.
smart
If you're
face.
at home, it is Nick taking a selfie with Sonic. It's the back of Sonic, the cosplayer.
Yeah,
too.
we were trying to get him to stop, but the PR woman that was saying Sonic has to go someplace. Sonic
Why
has
did
to
you
go
just
planet.
say-
He's got to go
He's
fast.
gotta
It's
go
going
fast.
really awkwardly
Yeah.
slow.
It's like
yeah.
you can walk. So when Reggie
know
Fils-Aimé walked by us, he was like, a fan was like, "Hey, can I get a photo?" He was like, "Yeah, but walk with us while we're doing it."
We have
You
to
can't
sit.
walk with Sonic because he's just running
It's
everywhere.
too
That's
fast
a
for me.
problem
I'm
with
clearly
it.
short. I don't have the stride.
Sure.
Also, you totally creeped on Reggie today when he went by. You did the creeper like.
Oh.
Is what Eddie does. Reggie, he sees Reggie and he gets like white as a ghost. Like, don't, you know.
Well, I
deer
had
headlight.
Snapchat ready all
And then he
open.
just goes, pulls out Snapchat and just does one of these.
I
you know?
wasn't
Where he's
showing.
like,
I wasn't
You were
facing my phone at it.
creepy.
Yeah, it was.
creepy.
Nah, it was good. It
Don't
was-
creep up on Reggie, man. He's got too much
Creep
of that.
on Reggie. He
Gets
likes
much-
it.
I feel like
Tim.
he's gonna fucking just shoulder charge me if I do.
Now, while you were at the Sega booth, did you play Warhammer Total War?
No, I didn't.
Because I did.
Okay.
And I crushed it.
All right, let me finish Sonic Forces real
Okay.
quick because I was talking really highly on it. I
were.
need to give it its
Give it its fair due.
criticism. The
fair,
fucking
dude.
friends talk way too much. It's like Star Fox levels. Like,
Slippy
hey,
and
hey,
shit.
get this guy off me. Yeah, like constantly. Like as you're going through the level, you're getting like intercom shit, which doesn't even make sense because he's Sonic and it's not
Like,
wearing
do
a
a
fucking
bucket
thing.
spin.
But
Like
it's just
that's
like,
clearly
dude,
barrel
it just
roll.
keeps
Yeah.
fucking going, and it's like the rogues gallery of Sonic.
Yeah.
Which the Sonic fans I'm sure fucking love, but it's just like we're getting real into it. real into it. It's the Sonic guys from throughout the ages, and I was like, all right, this can get real old real fast. But I was shocked that I enjoyed Forces as much as I did. I knew I was going to like Mania, but Forces I was a little bit more But I think they're doing a good job, and I'm interested to see if it stands up at the end of the day as a full release. But we can wait until
Full
then.
release, yeah.
So now, Total
Talk
Warhammer.
about Total Warhammer.
Yeah, boy. I crushed it. That's all I have to say.
Great
I
analysis.
don't understand why people think that game's so hard. I came in, played it.
Was it the same?
picked it up.
Was it my same demo that I did Judges Week, where the lizard people are invading?
Yeah,
some
but I
shit?
played on easy, and I also had Tom Hawkins over my shoulder telling me exactly what to do. And after we got through the conundrum of which one was right click and which one was left click, I really feel like I got that
That's
game
tough.
down.
That's
Got it
that's
down.
what separates the pro gamers from the casuals.
I don't know
for sure.
why that was so hard for me. You would think, since
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know.
It's
Figured it
weird,
out.
yeah.
No, it was fun though. It was fun.
great.
Now you want to save one for the end? Is that your thing? You wanna
No.
do an
I
end?
wanted to I don't want to end on the last night.
Okay, then do it right now.
Okay, so
So we didn't see gameplay for the last
No.
night. We went and saw what could be lovingly described as a tech demo for the last night, which was running in Unity.
which
So
was pointless.
It wasn't. I didn't think it was pointless. I thought it was kind of cool, but I like seeing how games are made.
I
It
mean,
was-
yeah.
All we've seen of that game right now is style. We don't know what really the gameplay is going to look like. We've seen a little bit of the shooting mechanic here and there, and him like ducking and covering and jumping into the cab and stuff.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing that really, really bothered me about it.
What?
I felt like we were investors, and he was trying to pitch us a game idea. He was showing us what the intro was,
Sure.
how the scenes were built in the intro, and he was just going from scene to scene to scene, what makes up the intro, and hey, so check it out. Here are the visual tricks I do, and it's beautiful. It's fucking gorgeous,
yeah.
and it's so beautifully made. But that's all it was.
Well, he
And-
talked a little bit about the story and the concept of who you are in the world and what you
Yeah,
wanted to,
I mean,
themes you
but-
wanted to explore, which I thought was cool too.
Again, so he did say, he said, I have gameplay, but we don't want to show it off because I don't want it to break or anything like that. And I just I don't know, I'd rather see it break than just showing me, I
That's
felt like
fair,
he was
but you
my
have to-
friend, hey, check out this thing I made, dude.
Yeah, but you have to understand that's you, and there's a lot of people in there that would just tear it apart, and they don't want to get that bad press coming in. I mean, I'll admit
Maybe.
it's a lot. It's very early to show whatever he was going to show.
Yeah, it's
but I
just-
enjoyed talking to him about what his sort of methodology was for the aesthetic, and also where he was going with the story. I liked hearing about the character. For you, I don't know if you guys know anything about it.
I mean, give us what you
I know
heard.
the scuttlebutt from the internet.
Yeah.
The apology, and that's it.
I understand. Taking that aside, the concept of what the story is you live in a world where basically everyone's on social media all the time, and it's in your head. Right, you have augments in your brain so instead of having a phone, you're basically just always there, Snapchatting live, whatever the fuck.
Automation is taken over.
Automation taken over. No one works anymore because they don't have to, right? And so everyone is just sort of 100% taken by this, which of course causes all sorts of problems. You play the one character who the augmentations don't take. You have some sort of, I think you get in an accident when you're young. And so you're not one of these people. So you're automatically displaced from this.
An outcast.
Yeah, you're an outcast. And so that's kind of the world you're living in. Obviously, it's dystopian, and it's borrowing from themes of Blade Runner and whatnot. That's as far as we got. So I thought that was cool. But I'll also agree that I kept asking myself, what exactly is it? Point and click? Are we going
It's
to
a
be
cinematic platform.
It's going to be a side-scrolling platformer, and
Yes.
it's
Like
But
another
how much
world.
of that is going to be
my problem with it, it's I'm looking at these scenes that he's showing us, and I didn't ask how many people are on the team, but if it's only him and one other person or whatever, this game, we won't see this game for 6 years.
That's what it sounds like, though. I
It's-
think it is two people.
he's talking about what the gameplay can be, as opposed to this is what the gameplay is. So he's so we're in the game. You will be talking to people, and it sounds very like David Cage, Quantic Dream type stuff. If you even Telltale, he kept saying if you say something a certain way, the people will remember what you said, and the game logs every decision made, and things will and I'm just looking at
the one dude standing behind the computer.
and I'm looking at
Like
these
this.
scenes, and I'm like, how the fuck are you going to possibly do that, right? So, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt that, yeah, they're probably going to get it done, hopefully, but it just seems way too ambitious. Just make it a cool action-y
Maybe, but it's
side-scroller.
it's not an open world game, right? It's not necessarily this game's going to be a huge environment with a ton of players that you're going to interact with. It sounds like it's actually going to be just a very cool, almost linear story.
Yeah, I mean, no, that's
No,
not
that's
the
not how it
impression
was?
he gave to me at all. He gave me the impression of, there will be consequences to everything you do, and he's giving to me, the Mass Effect, Quantic Dream sort of thing.
So yeah, he talked to us a little bit about how it would be he as the person who's designing the game is gonna screw with the player here and there, and as you make your decisions and things like that, like I don't know, breaking the fourth wall, things like that.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. It just seems like overly fucking ambitious, and again, it felt like he was pitching to us. I was like, you're already part of Microsoft, like you're doing it. But as I was watching it, of course it's gorgeous, and I love the inside baseball sort of stuff of like seeing how he created the scenes, seeing the art. It's unbelievably gorgeous, man. And so he's basically showing us like, oh, so here everything you saw in that video, that's all real. None of it was done in Premiere. It's all like in game.
That's fucking crazy.
Like, it's not,
and
and by the way, it's not there's no 3D. It's all based on
when
like
the taxi
and
drives
hand-drawn.
away, it's all just a flat image that animates to look like
I mean,
it's
you
a
can
3D
really
you
model.
can tell though. I mean, like even when it's the motions of him like pulling out the
Yeah.
gun in the trailer, like it's crazy how much. Because I mean, our friend Panda Musk does
We know him.
similar stuff with
Yeah.
the kind of that pixel art,
2.5D
like, that
sort of
pixel art style.
Yeah.
and seeing it, it's like, I mean, Panda is fucking amazing, but this stuff, there's so much more
takes it to
frames
another
of
level.
animation.
Yeah. It
So
really
when it
does.
happens, it's super smooth and it's like it's unreal. And when you add that with that tilt shift photography style, where there's so
It was
much
all
depth
planes,
and everything.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a bunch of planes and the lighting. It's like I've never seen anything like it, and
Yeah,
it's
it's really
so
cool.
impressive as a video that I can't even imagine it as a game. And the fact that you're hearing what you're saying worries me a lot.
Yeah, I don't see it. I wish he would just fucking dumb it down and make it a cool, fast-paced sort of platformer sort of thing, and just like
See, I want the opposite. I want like a
Well, I
just
want
a
that
point
too,
and
but
click,
we'll
like
never
let's
play it.
dig
Oh.
into this world and see. I don't even
Oh,
need
I
a
see what you're
platform. I just want to explore that world, talk to all the characters. I mean, it in a weird way, it made me very nostalgic for games like Full Throttle, where you're just kind of like walking around this beautifully rendered
Yeah.
like scene and just
Sort
and
of like
playing around in
detective
it.
style,
Yeah,
like- yeah, okay.
And it
I see
has
what
that
you're saying.
noir feel to it, and I'm like, I just want to see what the story is, and I don't care if I have to shoot anyone or not shoot anyone. Like that's not. I mean, you're not going to be jumping on platforms, things like that. He made that very distinctly clear.
Platformer is probably not the right.
Well, he
word.
described it
that's
as that,
what-
but
that's what it's described
it
as.
is.
Exactly.
But he said to be, they were like, I don't think you're not going to be like actually having to like skill based jump on platforms.
Sorry,
things like
was it cinematic
He said
platformer or
cinematic
was
platformer.
it cinematic side scroller?
platformer.
Platformer. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was platformer.
Yeah.
that. So I don't know.
Interesting.
But again, we haven't. They weren't talking really about the game.
I just
so.
don't see this game coming out any fucking time soon, unless Microsoft throws a shitload of money at it. Again, with the scuttlebutt going on, who knows?
Yeah. No. Exactly.
I didn't want
Who
to,
the fuck knows?
I don't know. It was,
Interesting. And
it's fucking beautiful.
So there was that other game, the other Xbox game that was played right next to that, that was really fucking weird, and we were looking at it and we're like, what the fuck's the gameplay though? That looks cool. The unicorns and like,
the
Crazy
the
shit.
escape or not escape.
Yeah,
The
the
guy that
Amazing
looks like me
Escape.
with the glasses.
yeah.
Yeah.
With the
The
guitar.
Artful Escape. The
Artful
Artful
Escape.
Escape.
The guitar.
That was playable
Johnny Vignacchi
on the show
Really?
floor.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah. That was in the Xbox booth, and I didn't play it because it was like right when we were leaving. But I saw that, I'm like, man, that ended saying it's coming out when it's fucking ready, and it's just like next
have something
to
playable code, yeah.
This is like they already have it playable, and like we saw earlier when we talked about it, like it was playable at PAX a couple years ago, but that was an older version with under a different
Right.
name.
That was the indie thing. That right.
Yeah. So this is like, man, like it's crazy that just based on trailers alone, we looked at that and we're like, what is the gameplay that doesn't exist? And it does. And the other thing is like, oh no, that doesn't exist at all.
Yeah,
It's just art.
I really felt like I was on Shark Tank. Like I thought he was gonna say, and
I'm
with
out.
your money, with your investment, we
I'll
can
give you
make this
5%.
Yeah, it was just I don't know. Like I really, like, I was looking so forward to it, and I just don't know if I'll ever get to play it. I'm really worried about that. Maybe with Microsoft's money, with that old Microsoft Word money.
Oh yeah, Clippy.
Yeah, Office,
Excel.
PowerPoint, all that stuff.
all those
you know?
PowerPoint. Yeah.
Mm.
Excel.
Did you play any other games?
No, I tried to play Call of Duty today because I'd missed my. Well, I didn't miss my appointment, but they were running late, so I had to play Destiny 2.
Had
And
to.
they were like, we have a lot of sports guys coming to play it. And that's when you can join in at 4 p.m. when we were supposed to, like, do something. Oh, we were recording reacts
Right.
somewhere. And I was like, well, never mind. Nick and I tried desperately to play Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
And
we
we
had to settle
couldn't.
for just watching other people play it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Thanks,
we tried
Rich
to pull,
George.
I tried to pull all the cards out. I called up my big old Mike Pereira. I was like, "Yo, slide me in, dog." And he's like, "I'm back at my hotel, and I don't like you that much."
Oh,
I was
damn.
like, "Well,
Makes
points
sense.
all around.
it's honesty."
So
Honesty.
I don't think I played anything else.
Okay, I played 3 more games. Or
Three
I'm
more
not.
games.
That's not even correct. I'm
Lay
sorry.
it on me.
Played 2 more games. Saw 1 more game. First game I saw, State of Decay, 2.
How was that?
I mean, I love State of Decay 1,
Yeah.
obviously. I went behind closed doors to see this. Undead Labs was there. They gave the whole presentation. Then, I mean, the, nutshell version of all this, right? The elevator pitch is the fact that State of Decay 1 amped up with a bigger team, more detail on every aspect. Like, playing the trailer we watched, right, at the Xbox conference, I remember being like, as a fan, I don't think it's a good trailer. As a fan, it didn't look that much better. When you see it in motion as a fan, I was like, oh, I actually do see all. They started in like you're just talking about it. Not even they didn't make a point about it. They're talking about the character and like what they're doing and who the team is. In the back, the trees were swaying and stuff, and I was like, that is not in State of Decay 1. You know what I mean? State of Decay 1 is a fun game, but it's rough around the edges to say the least. You know what I mean? And so watching this one looks better. It's more scavenging. It's what you love about State of Decay if you love State of Decay. More scavenging. Now drop in, drop out co-op. There's the whole mechanic to fire the flare gun. And if you've said on your game that, hey, if anybody ever needs help, I'll help out, it'll ping on yours and you can go help that person, get better rewards, do better things. There's way more detail on each of the survivors on your encampment too. Like this time around, there's still permadeath, but they're making a bigger deal about you switching off on who you're playing as. Because there is, like, in their demo, there was this woman they had who was a good gardener. She had worked at a botanical garden or whatever, so she was, like, going to be great at gardening. But she's terrible at fighting, so don't send her out for scavenging. Send this athletic guy out whose stats are maxed out. And, like, there's way more detail on every stat. When his fighting skill got maxed out, you then got to pick a specialization, so he's really amazing with,
good at push-ups and stuff?
No, weapons. Like, what kind of weapon he's awesome at or whatever.
Okay.
So, like, there's all these different things for, like, nerds like me that you really want to jump into and do. But then it was, like, pulling in some of the DLC stuff, right? Of like, so you have more detail on your encampment. You're doing all these different things. You've made a garden, and you're putting down a generator, but now that generator's making more noise, and you see this on your thing. So now you're more vulnerable to attacks. You're out doing something great. Hey, we're getting attacked. You come back. It's this wave similar to what they had in the expansion packs that they put out as DLC. Survived that. They survived it. Their guy who was athletic, the guy who had the fighting skill, he was hurt. He came in and it wasn't just take painkillers. It was he has a dislocated shoulder. Like there's like really specific information on every character, both just like as a top level and then on what happened to them in the battle, which I thought was awesome and made. But this is all like super nerdy stuff. If you love State of Decay, it's more State of Decay, which is great. Who knows if it'll sell new people into it, but I think they should because the game did really well to begin with and should be great. Then we went through a whole bunch of other stuff. I went and played Metal Gear Survive.
Oh, so did Tim.
How was that?
No,
No, Tim passed out behind me.
I want to butt in here.
Please do.
I did not get to play it. I
Not
was
enough
supposed to, but there was some seat issue, so I didn't get to play it. So I just had to watch you play.
Everybody
For the
wants
record,
to get all
there was
up on
never,
that.
you were never supposed to. I hit them up and said, hey, can we bring a whole bunch of other people? They said, you can bring one other person. You might be able to swap in and out with them. We had one station.
Okay, I
thought we were all going to do a 4-player co-op thing.
That'd be awesome.
No,
But
would've
that's
been
not what
awesome.
that's not what they're
It's
asking.
not what happened. Whatever.
Maybe tomorrow?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, Friday. Nick, I'll meet you there at 4 o'clock.
Great.
Metal Gear Survive is something that I've said on this show before that I understand there's so much fucking fuckery going on with it.
Yeah.
That it's like, all right, fuck Konami, all that, whatever.
Sure.
Hashtags. Right. But at the end of the day, I'm like, I love Metal Gear Solid 5. I
Sure.
love the look of that game. I love how that game feels.
Yeah.
I love how that game plays.
Yeah.
So a 4-player co-op version of that, in any respect, alternate universe, I don't know, whatever, that's cool because it doesn't matter. It has no consequences on the Metal Gear universe.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I do believe that despite the bullshit, this is going to be a good game.
Yeah.
Seeing the presentation today, seeing you play it, holy crap, I don't want to play this game.
Yeah.
And I don't want to sound overly negative.
Sure.
The gameplay still looks identical.
Right.
With a couple improvements even. Like
Yeah.
I liked that the whole double tapping X, immediately you do the roll to prone thing.
Yeah, exactly. You're double
Which I was like, all right, cool, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But the gameplay, from watching you,
Yeah.
did not look fun. Because what it was is you're in this online lobby, kind of setting up your loadouts for way too long. It doesn't look
But that's also
interesting.
because we're in a demo, I think.
Yeah,
and like they
yeah.
talked about that with servers and stuff.
I'm just saying my impression of
I'm
seeing
just letting
this.
I'm just giving you what they had said and everything else.
I imagine that when it really happens, though, it's not going to take as long as that did, but I think it's going to still not be fun. Like you choose a character, they have different abilities, different guns, weapons, and you can kind of create fences and stuff to build and craft stuff. And that was where I'm like, oh no. Like before the match even started, I'm like, this isn't what I thought this game was.
Yeah.
And I thought it was going to be more Left 4 Dead.
Right.
And then once you started playing, so much of it is just fortify your base. And I'm like,
Fortnite.
it's kind of like that. But anyway, I'll let you take it from here. But watching it, I was like, oh god, it's like a dumbed down horde mode.
Elevator pitch for what's going to happen with this game is that I think that Metal Gear Survive is a game marching into an abyss without an audience. Who are they marketing this game to right now? I don't know. Because like when we finished it, right, they came over and like, what'd you think? And I'm like, what'd I say? I'm like, it's interesting, it's weird. And like, oh, I'll take both those, you know what I mean? And it was like, I don't think for hardcore Metal Gear fans, we're going to be able to divorce ourselves from the fact that it was so fucking weird to have someone else talking about Metal Gear. To have someone else up there talking about Metal Gear and not that not to address everything, but like just, hey, we're talking about Metal Gear Survive and this is what it's going to be. Like, okay, and you jump into it and it's like, like when I ended it, right, like trying to put into words is still difficult. And I'm a Metal Gear fanboy. Obviously, you know, full disclosure, like, you know, I got Kojima's not my friend or anything, but like we're acquaintances at the very least.
You're known, you know, Jeff
we're known associates.
Yeah.
I'm no Jeff Keighley. That's a great point. I am no Jeff Keighley.
Coming over later, right?
Oh yeah, so the Sex Down Gin, of course. It was one of those things of finishing it. It was like the game. Let's take the name off it. The gameplay mechanics are solid. It is the Metal Gear Phantom Pain.
The one part they took out of the name.
It is Metal Gear It is the Metal Gear control scheme. It is dash. It is this. Like we were talking about, like, you know, fortifying and like you go through and you collect resources in the game. I was surprised they were making such a big deal about single player. Of like, oh, and you'll take these benefits back to single player, and single player is really addressing the story of why you are there and how are you going to get out.
Nobody cares.
And it was like, I thought this was strictly a multiplayer game. I thought we were getting a Left 4 Dead kind of game, and it's like, no, single player is this thing, and you take those resources back, and because the resources are, I want to fortify this empty area, so I'm going to make a chain link fence, but that means I need this amount of resources or whatever, right? And you're getting different classes of, like, I played as the shooter class, but there's other classes in there to go through and do it, and it was just this weird thing of like, I don't even feel like it feels like Metal Gear. If I was like, it looks like, I mean, even iDroid you bring up, it doesn't look like iDroid that the iDroid is from Metal Gear Solid 5. It looks like a different iDroid, which is weird. The whole thing, if you took all the names off it and put it in, you'd be like, oh man, like these people are copying Metal Gear's control. That's interesting, whatever. But it's like, there is Fortnite, and there is Left 4 Dead, and there is all the Horde mode, and there's all these different things of like, this is a game that isn't bad, it isn't broken, it just, and this sucks to say because I know people worked on it and they're hard, it just doesn't feel like it has a soul. Like, what is the soul of this game? Where it's like, I'm playing this thing, I have this base, and it's that thing of like, I've played a lot of Metal Gear Solid, The Phantom Pain, and I'm like, this feels like the one level here where it's like, I understand where I am in this base, and over there is where the structure is, and they've all been like worn down and beaten down, and then there is this weird fog of war kind of happening.
It doesn't look good, and that's my biggest problem with it is that, okay, it looks like it feels like the controls. I didn't play it, but
no, you're right though. No,
it really does look exact. The movement looks exactly like
yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 5, but the location, like the Fox Engine stuff, it's in Fox Engine, but the fog of war is what it is. The outside lands do not look good. It looked like you're in a weird multiplayer level where they only designed part of it and the rest of it's just kind of desert,
like a user generated level or something like that. Yeah,
that's really kind of what it feels like.
Okay.
Yeah, where it's just, it looks incomplete.
And they kept mentioning, you know, like,
game, but
yeah, of course. And they kept mentioning, you know, like, oh, like figuring out why you're there and what you're. And I'm like, I totally feel like this is like the first season of Lost, where like, oh, they're in purgatory. No, it's something different. Where it's like, I'm like, oh, these guys are there. These are the people they've killed in their journey as a soldier, right? And it's like, man, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't ask that question. I think it's been said before. Where it's like, and that's the thing. These wanderers is what they call them. They're zombies that come at you. Are just like so uninteresting. They're just
generic.
The people in Metal Gear Solid 3 walking down the river were more exciting than this. You know what I mean?
Sure.
This is just like, hey, I'm a zombie, but my head is this weird red triangle. You know what I mean? It's like you want okay, shoot it. It's just the whole game is weird, and I just don't know. What? Go ahead.
I'm curious about the building aspects. Like,
yeah.
Are we getting like how you build shit in Fallout, like that sort of stuff, or
yeah, I do think.
Like
I told him at the end, I was like, the system's better than Fallout.
Okay.
Where it was like, I want to put down a chain link fence, boom, and it's like you can't put it here because there you can put it there. Boom.
It looked simple.
It was.
We talked about this afterwards. I was like, I'm happy that it's simple, but I think that it just takes too long.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many segments of this game where it's like, okay, you're here. It's for 3 minutes.
Three waves. Yeah.
Before there's even waves of enemies.
Yeah.
Because those don't even start until the third kind of section of
when you get into the actual game. Yeah.
You're doing it, then you need to fortify. and that takes a long time. And then it's all right, cool. Then you need to gather resources, and then now you're actually fighting a wave.
Yeah.
And then in between waves, there's more crafting and resources, and it's just like, I don't know. It looks like it's taking the fun out of.
And then the end, we won. Okay, it was this generator protecting these guys were trying to get to. We won, great. Boxes fall from the sky, like Love Box and all the other boxes, and you get those resources to take back to your single player game. And it's like, so is this a single play? Like, is this what I'm playing? No, it's fine. Don't worry. I understand you can't. You Metal Gear is a sore subject for you. No, like what is I am the Metal Gear guy. I love Metal Gear, right? And I'm not even the biggest Metal. I'm not trying to say I'm the big Metal Gear. I'm saying for us, and it's just like cool. Like if it's an interesting multiplayer game like Friday the 13th or doing something different, I want to play it. I want to get into it. And like this just isn't something I want to play. And I'm also not interested in why these guys are in the fucking weird world.
I mean, as we were walking away, we were talking about it. It's like, what is Metal Gear about this? And it's like, oh, the alert sound goes off every once in a while.
Yeah.
And that was kind of it.
And some of the systems,
sucks.
yeah.
But I mean, then obviously just pure gameplay wise of menus and how it feels. Yeah, that's Metal Gear. But nothing else about it was.
Why the fuck would you even need to go into prone mode?
Great question. I don't know.
Like when you said you go into prone, I'm like, you're not sneaking
around. To be clear, it's not. That's true, but it's that dive.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Where you like do the when you jump,
a good dive,
jump away.
though.
It's a great dive.
It is
a great dive.
It is.
Yeah.
What a waste of the Fox engine, it sounds like.
Well, that's.
Is it running on Fox? Or is that confirmed?
Well, I mean,
it's
if
I was
like it.
Kojima
had to leave it behind.
Yeah,
he couldn't bring it with him.
I mean, my thing is, I'm so down on this game, and that sucks because I went into this wanting to like it. I wanted this game.
I thought we were all gonna love it.
Me too.
I'm serious.
We were talking.
Well, remember,
about
I think that was one of my predictions, right, on the Gamescast of like it'll be there and it won't be. Or I knew it was gonna be there. I think
it'll be like a 7.5 or an 8.
I was like, people are gonna be impressed with it when they see it or whatever.
And
I was
don't
not
think
impressed
that's
with
true
it. And that's
anymore.
my thing is I'm not down on it. I'm just flat on it, where it's like. It's something I played. Yeah, I don't know who's gonna be motivated to go play more of it.
It's not insulting. That is a
Sure.
good thing to bring up. Where it's like it's not like it's not bad at all. It's just there's nothing about that. I'm like, well, hey,
this is why.
Fuckery aside, this is pretty cool. It's like, oh no, this is just pretty empty. I wish that it was a bit more co-op based. Like, it kind of felt like you were just doing stuff and like
100%,
you chose different
100%.
classes, but you were not working as a team. And granted, demo situations are always hard, but it looked like even in the game.
And it was this weird thing of like in between waves, there's a lot of time, and it's like you have a side mission that pops up this little blue dot off the side. I'm like, all right, and I went and got D-Walker or whatever and came back with that. I was like, all right, like,
there's side missions.
Yeah, but it's not. It's just like there's an objective in the middle of it to go do. I'm like, whatever, okay, I don't know.
Now, Nick, would you be interested in playing this if Meryl was in the game?
I mean, not after this rousing discussion about it. Like, it just sounds. I mean, Greg makes it sound like it's flat. It sucks.
Yeah. To be fair, though, I think that it would make a super cool party mode of us playing it. Like, it is a 4-player game. I think it'd be fun.
Greg, for those of you listening at home, Greg just made a face like he.
I mean, I'll try.
Well, actually, I mean, I guess you're right. They need to tighten up the in between segments and how long all this shit takes.
Now, if you want to talk about a good party mode, let's talk about the last game I played. My final game demo.
Before you get to the final thing, I feel like I just want to throw something in that I did play for a second, which was Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. And I enjoy that being 2 people instead of 3. I feel like it's a fun thing, and it feels a bit more accessible.
Okay.
Because I've never been good at Marvel vs. Capcom, but I enjoy it a lot.
Sure.
But
I'm the same way.
that game does not look good.
Yeah,
It looks really bad. You've seen the images on Twitter in motion and playing it. I'm like, fucking
it looks really dated, dude.
Yeah, it looks like a PS3 game.
Yeah. I don't see a huge improvement over what MVC3 looked like.
I mean, I think it's a step back. Like, I think that the overall resolution and all that stuff is better. But that's it.
Man, that's
like
a
the
bummer.
backgrounds and stuff.
And
like that,
there was even
there
was an article on Kotaku about it, about how Chun-Li looked in like MVC3 as well as Street Fighter 5, and then how she looks now.
I get weird free-to-play mobile game vibes from it.
That's
you know what I
awful.
mean? Where
That
it's just
sucks.
like all right, but that playing on a TV. I don't know. So,
Yeah, I don't know.
Final game I saw, and it'll be a short one, is Rocket League Switch. Went and saw Rocket League Switch. I'm stoked about Rocket League Switch for the simple reason that I liked Rocket League a lot leading up to release. Played it leading up to release. took that weekend off and came back and everybody was way too good. I couldn't even compete online. So the idea of us all having our Switches and being able to fuck around in an airplane, fuck around at the office at the end of the day, do some Switch, like, that sounds great. Looks good. The whole thing is that they want to hit 60 frames per second, so it's running at 720p rather than 1080p. Who the fuck cares?
Totally
Doesn't
care.
matter.
Totally fine.
You got the crossplay with the exception of PlayStation 4. It's cool. It's Rocket League.
Was old Jer Bear there?
Of course he was. You kidding me? You're gonna go see Rocket League and not have Jeremy Dunham there talking to you about you? He's telling me about the
Jer
DLC
Bear.
pack coming July 5th. It's got boost. It's got boost trails on there. It's got new engine sounds. It's got goal explosions. It's got Rocket League radio with a bunch of different tracks on there.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm hearing we're getting a lot of announcements about Rocket League Switch that are Nintendo focused.
Ooh.
So
yeah.
That's what
we
I'm
saw
really
the
excited.
Mario
The trailer,
hat.
yeah, talked about it. New
But
hats,
I
new
was
cars.
talking to Damon Baker, who is the Geo Corsi of
Nintendo.
and he was telling me that like there's a lot of cool stuff coming.
Cool.
So,
Yeah, pre-alpha looked great. I'm
Cool
excited.
stuff like
Cool spot.
cool spot
spot.
is what he was
maybe,
saying.
Maybe. Now to end this Gamescast.
Pizza.
Well, we got to go through this, Greg. We have a job to do here. We got to talk about what we gave awards to overall, because
Sure.
we haven't named them all, and that's important. We
Good
gave
call.
the game
I'm
of the
gonna
show to Spider-Man.
We did.
That was a debate.
Not really.
I
I mean,
think
Spider-Man
so.
was it was like 1.5 for me in terms of like where I'm ranking it.
What? Oh, no, that's what I'm saying, though. I feel like this is a debate between Mario and Spider-Man. I
Sure.
feel like, I mean, all of us.
I mean, Tim had to call me. It was like,
Yeah, it's
so I
like
was
there
the
was
deciding
a
factor.
deciding
Greg.
factor
Well,
of
they
like,
wanted your vote. You know what I mean? If we had the numbers, then we wouldn't have called you at all.
I would have given it to Metal Gear Survive.
had you said Spider-Man, like, because Greg said Mario, which surprised me.
Yeah.
But had you said Spider-Man, I would have just been like, all right, cool, we give it to Spider-Man. Done.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was close. Obviously, Mario Odyssey is amazing. We gave that one of the approved awards.
Sure. Yeah, approved awards were, of course, Spider-Man, Odyssey, Days Gone, which is another game that caught us off guard. We had it wrong, I think, last year. Not we had it wrong. I don't think they
Very
showed the right
impressed by
thing
it
for
this
them last year. Detroit, God of War, Wolfenstein, Sonic Mania, South Park, and Moss. Which, of
Moss.
course, there's a Let's Play up of here. But like another great PlayStation VR game. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The three games I want to give a shout out to
we
are Anthem,
Mm-hmm.
A Way Out,
Yeah.
and there was one more.
If Anthem was on the show floor, that would have been my game of the
And
show.
that's what I'm saying. There's games that we're not on the show floor, so we're like, we don't want to give awards to them because we want to actually give the physical awards to people.
Sure.
But A Way Out specifically, I actually gave an award to. And then we realized it wasn't on the show floor because we're stupid.
Right.
But, yeah.
What was the third game?
I mean, do you want to tell the whole story of that, or you want to leave it at that?
We're going to tell the whole story. We're
Okay.
going to tell the whole story.
I'm getting some pizza. You started.
Greg and I were talking. He's like, what games should we choose? What are our approved games? And I brought up A Way Out. I was like, I definitely think that it deserves it. It's doing something different. Super cool. And I think that it stole the show for new game announcements, like new IP, especially for EA, right?
And the cool Greg heard it wrong and gave it to Wipeout.
Not true. That's not what happened. It's
Okay.
not Cool Greg's fault at all. Greg and I were talking, and it was just like, yeah, we're looking at the games. Like, it started as, is there any Microsoft games that we want to give an award to? And that's why I was like, oh, yeah, A Way Out. And so Greg's like, cool. So we hit up our Microsoft friend,
Big ol' zombie vlognack, Jeff Rubenstein.
big old Jeff Rubenstein, and we're like, hey, we're giving your game an award. We're going to be there. And we're like, cool. So we
Oh,
go,
no.
we give him the award.
Whoa!
Whoa. Jesus.
What the fuck just happened?
The fucking carpet over there moves.
Oh.
So no, it wasn't even that, right? Yeah. So hey, are we forgetting anything? We're PlayStation heavy. Of course, we love PlayStation. They had a great show. I'm like, what, Mike? Oh, right, A Way Out. Yeah, okay. I hit up Jeff. And I'm like, hey, if I wanted to give A Way Out a title or an award, can I bring it over? He's like, yeah, bring it behind closed doors. And we went back and forth. And I went over there, and he wasn't there. And I gave it to one of his colleagues. I'm like, hey, I'm giving this to you for A Way Out. He's like, dude, thank you so much, Bob, and took it. And then 45 minutes later, they text like, what game was it for? Oh, wait, isn't that an EA game? And we're like, fuck, we're tired.
We're
Shit.
so tired. We fucked it up. But I mean, to be fair, it is coming to Xbox.
Sure.
So, you know, we're not totally wrong, but, you know, we did fuck up. We fucked up
We're
back. And
idiots.
then we went back and we had to take it back from them.
Oh,
And
God.
they're like, you realize that you just straight up Steve Harvey'd us. Like, this is an
Yeah.
Oscar situation. We're like, yeah.
That sucks.
It does. But, hey,
It's
we're
more of
done.
a Steve Harvey,
It's who
right?
we are. It's who we are.
Oscars, they had the wrong information, understandably. We're just dumb.
I mean, whatever. We are dumb. E3 is over. I'm very, very
Steve Harvey
excited about it.
sucks.
Honestly, I believe wholeheartedly that this is the best E3 I've ever been to. If not one of the best E3s of all time.
The thing about it,
Even with the crowds.
What's up?
Even with the crowds?
I don't think the crowds were an
Crowds
issue at all.
weren't that bad.
I think people are being
For us, yeah.
babies. Yeah, for us. But the thing is, like,
the people who were bitching about it were us as well.
Were us as well. Like, from the public perspective of the people that are like, oh man, there was way too many people. Yeah, cool. But that's a convention. That's PAX. That's any convention.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna wait a fucking line. But it's the journalism side of it, or whatever the fuck we do. But I'm also talking about the journalism guys that are legit. It's like all them complaining. I don't get it because it's like you don't need to deal with the crowds.
I talked to a lot of people and they were like, Tuesday was worse. Something happened between then. And I was talking to somebody while we were waiting for you.
They killed all of them.
Oh, James from Insomniac. And he's like, you have to understand on Tuesday, Nintendo didn't have queue lines. You could just walk right up to the Mario kiosk. Overnight, they installed all that shit to make it orderly. I was like, oh, really? Fuck, okay. I don't think it was. A lot of people came Tuesday and were like, this fucking sucks. And they didn't come back. I don't know. I think the thing about it is, it's an interesting E3. Because all of our conferences were like, all right, that was a solid conference. That was a solid conference. It's because we knew so much. It was because there weren't a lot of surprises. There weren't a lot of Gatorade get hype moments. But it was a year of, like, incredibly quality games. The games are awesome.
Quality and quantity. And that's what I'm saying. Is like, when I'm saying this is the best E3 ever, it is for being at E3 and just the breadth of games that were there. Man, every single thing that I played, with the exception, and I didn't even play it, but the only thing I saw that I didn't like was Metal Gear Survive. Every other thing I was very impressed by.
Even a big old Knack 2.
Even Knack 2, I was impressed by.
Knick-knack,
like,
paddywhack,
that
give Tim a bone.
blew my mind. But, like, Detroit looks fucking awesome.
Thanks.
Days Gone looks fucking awesome. Spider-Man, Mario, like, going through all of these things. Even the games we didn't play, but just hearing the buzz about, so many people are stoked on Sea of Thieves. So many people are stoked on Crackdown, and Nick played that, but... I don't know. I'm just like, I loved this E3 because
games are cool, man.
Games are fucking
games are cool.
There's been a whole bunch of E3s that I was like, all right, there's a couple games that are cool, but this time I'm like, fuck, man. Choosing the 9 to give our Kind of Funny approved things was difficult.
Hard, yeah.
So
I think it was great because of the sex dungeon.
And we got the sex dungeon. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for making this an awesome E3 2017. We will be back next week with our all new lineup of Kind of Funny content, including Kind of Funny Games Daily right here on youtube.com/Kind of Funny Games. You can watch it live on twitch.tv.
It's a hard-hitting daily game show from the people who can't remember who's publishing A Days Gone or whatever the fuck
it's on the Xbox. You know
also,
what I mean?
Danny O'Dwyer's out for like 2 weeks, so bear with us.
It's a good thing to keep it in.
Yeah, he tweeted it out today. So somebody tweeted out like, oh, I'm so excited for Kind of Funny Games Daily. And he was like,
wait,
yeah,
what?
Me too. Just FYI, I'm in Europe for the next 2 weeks. So
But then he'll be on.
Yeah.
No, we knew this. We're just playing.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you. Love you. See you soon.
Bye, guys. Love y'all.